United States, their imperialistic ambition is just as bad as greater Israeli ambition that the Zionists have. Nevertheless, when they go to interview people from Qatar, the government there, or when they talk about their own politician, their opinion, and all those things, one thing will always be mentioned, and that is that the government in the Middle Eastern countries, or the people in the Middle Eastern countries, even politicians in the United States, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are not happy with this kind of mentality that US has for its imperialistic views and ambition. Facing those backlash, facing those complaints and qualms from their own people and also coming from Middle Eastern countries, seems like they have reached to a point, the US government, they have reached to a point where they don't really care much. I mean, this has become for them a very routine thing that they will be pushed back by the people in the Middle East and also other countries in Asia, in Africa. This interview is one of those examples. Take a listen at what Qatari Prime Minister is saying to Tucker Carlson here.
With Iran, and you have seen that there is a huge progress in the relationship with Iran and between Iran and the GCC in the last few years. And basically, even the disagreement that we had in certain policies, for example, we worked against each other in Syria for 14 years.
Against Iran?
Against Iran, yeah.
Right, which was backing Hezbollah, and you were opposed.
And the same thing in Lebanon, and those differences are put aside when it comes to the bilateral. We made the bilateral as a relationship of necessity, that we need to have this engagement together all the time. Those disagreements, we talk about them, we try to understand each other's concern, and we try to find a common ground. And basically, that's what we expect from other countries to do when they are, around neighbors that some others has disagreements with. You need to engage. Now, this is criticized in the US that we are close to Iran. In terms of what? In terms of policies that has controversies with the US? It's not true. Our policies has been very clear. Our policy is based on principles. Our policy has zero enemies. We have to have friends with everyone. We would like to see peace in our region. We would like to see a peace around the world. If we see innocent people under attack, whatever their backgrounds, we will always help them and will support them. These are the things that our foreign policy standing for. So if they see me that, this is like putting me on a club on the other, they are watching me from thousands of miles away. They don't know what's happening in this region. They have no knowledge about it. This relationship, it's an important relationship, not for me, for the entire GCC and for the entire GCC stability. Look, Tucker, I think that there is a misunderstanding, or let's say maybe it's more about a legacy issue, that the US needs to take care of the whole world problem.
Yep.
This shouldn't be the case.
Absolutely.
Each region needs to address their own problems, needs to make sure that this region is stable. The US is the friend and the ally and the partner of all the GCC countries. So the US expects from us to come to them with vision, that this is the way we would like to see the region, and that's the way we are going to work on the region. And we would like to have also your support in that direction. That's, I believe, how the relationship should work between us and the US. Not, I'm waiting for the US, what's the problem between them and Iran, and then I based my dealing with Iran based on what the US want. The US is waiting to listen to me, what I need from Iran, because I am the friend of the US and Iran is my next door neighbor.
Yep.
And basically, I think this misunderstanding, or let's say the legacy issue, that's what's driving this whole narrative floating here and there.
Okay, so basically, when he said this misunderstanding, he basically, I mean, this is an euphemism. Okay, no understanding or misunderstanding is an euphemism of F off from our region. Because problem I have with Iran, I understand better than you do. Problem I have with other countries or challenges that are happening or that we are facing every day in this region is our issue, and we know how to deal with that. If we need your help, we will come to you. Why you impose your vision, your ideology on us, making us really scramble to find a common ground with each other based on your solution? And finding a common ground with Iran, for example, finding a common ground with Saudi Arabia, for example. So you don't dictate, in other words, and tell us how to find a solution for our own challenges that we're facing. This is basically a very clear-cut answer from the Prime Minister of Qatar to Tucker Carlson, who is a foreign journalist, United States journalist, that, look, guys, you guys really need to pack up and leave us alone.
I think that, one day everything will be resolved diplomatically. If I take a stand against my neighbor because of an external issue, very strong stand, what I'm going to do if those two adversaries come together?
But I think it's the policy of your government that you oppose Iran getting nuclear weapons. Certainly your neighbors are on the record against it. How close do you think Iran is to getting a nuclear weapon, to building one?
Well, look, actually, a nuclear weapon is bad for the region, for any country, whether it's Iran or any other country. But also, like, when it comes to, developing a nuclear program, there are concerns, of course, whenever any nuclear program is developed around your region. And those concerns can be not only military concerns, but also security and, safety concerns. That, as I mentioned to you, if the water is contaminated, the nuclear facilities of Iran are on the other side of the coast. It's closer to Doha than Tehran itself. So the risks and the threats is affecting me, my country, affecting other countries in the GCC more even.
So there's a nuclear site directly across from you?
Yeah. And that's basically...
he's not talking about Iran having a nuclear weapon. He's also talking about Israel. He said this is not a problem with just Iran. It is a problem in the region, whoever it is, regardless. But of course, the United States, they want Israel to have a nuclear weapon. But when Iran wants to have one, they have a big problem with that. So this is what he's addressing, the Prime Minister of Qatar here, that nobody should have a nuclear bomb in the Middle East.